The Sports Authority presents Old Spice ESPNU Lacrosse from UMBC Stadium, Baltimore. Two America East Conference teams close out the regular season. Hi, everybody. Scott Garceau and Mark Dixon. UMBC, Mark, they've got postseason plans. Hartford looking to upset UMBC for the second straight year.
Well, at this point of the year, Scott, it's about playing spoiler for the Hartford Hawks. On the other side, UMBC in a conference where everybody thinks Stony Brook's going to take the crown. The Retrievers could be the primary challenger.
Let's take a look at our Inside Lacrosse Impact players today, Mark.
Well, for Hartford, it's a young attack unit, and spearheaded by Aiden Genick. He's a sophomore. He's a Canadian player. 34 goals on the season. He's terrific. Michael Camardo, an unsung hero for UMBC. He's had a great career in Catonsville, one of the best long stick midfielders in all of college lacrosse.
We'll have the starting lineups and keys to today's game next.
The Sports Authority presents Old Spice ESPNU Lacrosse.
Time for our University of Maryland University College starting lineups. Peter Lawrence in his fifth year as the head coach of the Hartford Hawks. How about his starters, Mark?
Well, the Hawks come in winless in the America East. Austin Rogers and Justin Burse, Aid Genick. In the midfield, Michael Cudmore is a great scorer. The defense, they suffered a blow with the season-ending injury to Connor Flynn, but they have got a terrific goaltender in Scott Bement. The sophomore was an all-conference selection a year ago.
Don Zimmerman won his 200th game earlier this season. Let's take a look at his Retrievers.
Well, UMBC 4-7, 3-1 in the America East. Rob Grimm and Matt Latham are good scorers. Jamie Kimball's, he's a terrific Dodger, along with Kyle Weimer. Matt Kress leads the defense, and there's a freshman between the pipes, Adam Cohen.
And how about the keys, our Toyota keys to this one?
Well, for Hartford, they want to play spoiler. They want to upset UMBC again. In order to do that, they're going to have to limit the second chances of UMBC. Hartford not very good at clearing, and they're going to have to win the goaltending battle. When you have an all-conference netminder like Hartford does, you've got to beat out a freshman. For UMBC, they want to control the face-offs. Tom Fallon for Hartford, one of the best in the country, and the extra man offense has to be crisp for UMBC today. We've seen games previously in 2010 where they haven't converted extra man offense. That could be the difference between a win and a loss.
UMBC, after their fourth straight win against a Hartford team that shocked them last year. It's senior day at UMBC. We'll face it off next.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
And we're just about set to go from UMBC Stadium. Scott Garceau, Mark Dixon with you. It's UMBC and the Hartford Hawks. Final regular season game for both of these teams. You see the series history. The big headline in the series history was last year, Hartford having a rough year, took down UMBC when they were ranked 6th in the nation.
And that was a UMBC team that was really clicking on all cylinders. If you get a good look at Don Zimmerman, Pete Pouillon, and Alex Hopman, and that hurt UMBC when it came to NCAA seeding time. Different scenario this year for UMBC. They've struggled a little bit. The automatic qualifier from the America East will be their ticket into the NCAAs. This is a big game for UMBC. It's been an emotional week for the Retrievers, and we'll get into that a little later.
You look in goal. That is Scott Bement, the sophomore in goal. Big story in this game is going to be face-offs. Tim Fallon, you touched on him in the pregame. Their team is over 60%, just about 61% on the season.
Yeah, and that's why they have so many ground balls. And Fallon's got 78 more ground balls than the leader on UMBC, which is the wingman, Michael Camardo. And here we see Fallon winning the opening draw.
He wins the opener, had a huge game last week. He won 22 of 28 faceoffs, 16 ground balls, plus throw in, he scored a hat trick. That's quite a day.
But I think those great numbers, when you see a faceoff man with those numbers, you expect a W. They still lost by a goal to Binghamton, and I think that speaks to some of the inexperience and the defensive lapses that Hartford's experienced. And we mentioned Connor Flynn, their best D-man. He's out of this contest with a shoulder injury.
And in that game last week that Hartford lost, they were down 7-1, came back, tied the game, but eventually lost it 13-12, and that's kind of been the story of their season. A bunch of close losses, 5 one-goal losses, 2 of those in overtime. initial possession. Aiden Genick is the guy to look out for. Number 43. 34 goals, 9 assists for him on the year. Ball loose in front. Max Davis got a stick on it, can't control, but now Michael Camardo, a ground ball for him.
Well, that's where Camardo really earns his money. He's just such an outstanding ground ball machine, good on-ball defender. And it's going to be a turnover to Hartford.
Let's take a look at the first save.
Adam Cohen, the freshman, out of second. It's been a revolving door for UMBC at the goal position this season. They started with Kevin Corey, the senior. Then they went to Cohen. And then they even used a third netminder, Brian McCullough, for a couple games. Back to Corey, now back to Cohen. And the freshman from Severn has done a nice job in conference play. He's only giving up about 7 goals a game.
That pass picked off. UMBC up with a Mike Bryan, and here come the Retrievers. Good look on goal, and a shot sails wide.
Great hustle by Bement with that quick release on the fast break opportunity. Rob Grimm had front swung in front of the net, so no backup, and Bennett recognized it, ran it out in Lacrosse on a shot closest to where and when it goes out gets possession. In that case, it was Bement.
Chris Jones took that shot that sailed wide. Procedure call, UMBC possession. So a couple of turnovers, a couple of mistakes early. Yeah.
Illegal substitution for Hartford. This is where we talk about giving up second chances. This is a second chance possession now for UMBC. Hartford only clearing about at a 77% rate. You want that number to be around 80, so Hartford has to limit these mental mistakes.
Yeah, between winning faceoffs and ground balls, Hartford is 8th in the nation in ground balls. They have had possessions, but the defense has let them down a lot. They have scored. For UMBC, it's kind of been the other way. Their defense pretty good. They haven't scored a lot this year.
They've developed some scorers. Shane Reisnar is a good attackman who's stepped up his game. And you see Don Zimmerman balancing his midfields out a little bit, bumping Bobby Stockton to the second unit.
This is Kimball's a left-hander. Mark, how about the weather today? Temperatures in the 80s. Yeah, you see more second and third midfields. What factor does that have?
It is a TV game, and Don Zimmerman will use that to his advantage with the television timeouts. But to your point, Scott, this whole week has been 60 and windy. Now it's 85, really no breeze, and it's humid. So it is a change for these players, a welcome change, but fitness will be key today.
Kimball's back up top. UMBC has the shot backed up. Retrievers maintain possession. First quarter just underway. America East clash here between UMBC and Hartford at UMBC Stadium. Final regular season game for both teams. UMBC will advance to the America East tournament. They'll be home on Wednesday night. For Hartford, this is their final game of the year. No postseason for them.
We can see the defensive pressure, or the offensive pressure, that UMBC is putting on Hartford. And I don't think Bement's made a save yet. All the shots have been off the mark.
Rob Grimm got decked there, slow getting up as he turned the corner. There you see Don Zimmerman. You touched on it earlier, Mark, lost his mother this week, and the assistant coaches ran a lot of the practices. Well, Don took care of that.
Yeah, Coach Zimmerman taking care of his family business, and our condolences go out to him and the Zimmerman family. But like any lacrosse team, it's like a close-knit family.
Absolutely.
The assistants stepped up and ran practice and got the players prepared for this game. And of course, you see Don Zimmerman on the sideline coaching his team, and one of the finest coaches in all of college lacrosse.
So, yeah, we do extend our condolences to Don. And today, somewhat of an emotional day as well. 16 seniors honored before this game. And look out here. A break to the goal there on the turnover. UMBC shot, and that was a save, I believe. Bement, point-blank range.
Scott Bement, only a sophomore, but he made all-conference last year. Here's the first offering. It's Jones. And look at Bement get back in, cover his net, making that save. And then he made another save right after that. So Bement, you've seen him. He's very active out of the cage, very good inside. That's why he is an all-conference netminder.
Second save might have been even better than the first, which was pretty good. Hartford averaging just under 10 goals a game. They're 9.67, but they have given up 11.43. Good pass in front, and a shot in the score. UMBC Retrievers finish in front. Matt Latham with the goal.
Latham has become just an outstanding scorer for UMBC off ball. And this is going to be a flag down situation. And look at the patience of Latham. He recognizes Bement's been hot. So he throws about 3 or 4 stick fakes, moves Bement, and then slips it past him for his 22nd goal of the season. So what we have now is UMBC with the goal. The penalty will carry over, and UMBC with a man-up faceoff.
And a good face-off win. Down a man, Tim Fallon does what he does best, wins a face-off, but now potential turnover here. Retrievers up with the ground ball. Rob Grimm with it. We got a timeout. 10:22 left. A little unsettled there. Extra man. Let's settle it down and figure out what we want to do, right?
And we talk about the America East, and we'll probably look at the standings throughout our broadcast. But when you talk about face-off men, the America East has 2 of the best in the country. Adam Rand of Stony Brook, Tim Fallon of Hartford, and of course Stony Brook now the front runners for the America East Championship. But right now, Scott, we're entering into that postseason cusp. Who are going to be the top seeds? Well, I think 1 through 5 are locks. You've got the 4 ACC teams: Maryland, Duke, North Carolina, Virginia. Virginia will probably go in at number 1, and Syracuse. These 5 teams have really created a lot of separation between them and the rest of the field. Bubble teams: Notre Dame, Georgetown. Johns Hopkins stayed alive with a big win over Towson this past Wednesday evening, and really it's heating up, and they can't have situations like in the America East. If Stony Brook should falter, that eliminates a bubble team, because I think the Seawolves go even if they don't win the automatic qualifier for the America East.
Just about 24% on the extra man for UMBC. They haven't been real productive. 14 of 59 opportunities, and here comes Hartford.
Well, we mentioned a key to the game would be extra man offense for UMBC. Right now they're 0 for 1, and we've had them a couple of times this year, Scott, where they've gone 2 out of 7 and they lost by 3 goals. I mean, you go 50-50 on those propositions. That's the difference between a win and a loss.
1-0 UMBC first quarter on a beautiful day on the UMBC campus. Temperatures expected into the 80s today. Maybe 90 tomorrow, as all of a sudden summer has shown up in Baltimore.
You're saying expected to be in the 80s. I think we're there. Not complaining, though. Not complaining. Love this time of year. Love this weather.
Had a walk for the Alliance for Lupus Research this morning at the Inner Harbor. Beautiful morning. People all over town. A lot of Red Sox fans walking around the harbor. Of course.
How about the O's last night taking the first? Mickey coming through.
A lot of turnovers in the early going today. 4 for Hartford, 3 for UMBC. A little bolt rush there.
Well, and there's another turnover.
Mike Bryan got knocked down, but it is a turnover, as you said, Mark. Here come the Retrievers.
Hartford so far only 1 shot on goal. Cohen was great making that save on the doorstep. Bement's been hot early. And keep in mind, Bement was a difference maker last year when Hartford beat UMBC. He had 19 saves in that Hawk win. And you can tell he's playing with a lot of energy so far today.
Before it gets away from me, what's the Mason-Dixon line on this one?
UMBC by 3. I have the Retrievers by 3.
So now that we know how it's going to end, we'll play it anyway, right?
I've been right more times than wrong, but there's a first time.
And you're so humble, too. That's what I like about it. Round the corner. That was Kyle Weimer.
Weimer, such a terrific career here at UMBC. He's been part of a lot of really terrific midfields with Terry Kimmener and Pete Pouillon, Alex Hauptman. He's done a real nice job this year as a leader, probably taking on more of a between-the-lines role.
Grimm, a little skip pass. Back out in front, the shot and the score. That's 2 for Matt Latham. And on the season, 23 goals. He came in with 21 goals and 1 assist, and he's added 2 here in the early going of this game.
I really struggled choosing our impact player to highlight this week, and Latham was my runner-up. I took Camardo because he's had such a brilliant career, and he seems to be overlooked, but that's why Latham was under consideration. He's a tremendous goal scorer.
Matt Latham with a couple of goals. UMBC on top 2-0.
Here comes the change.
Well, a 10-1 shot advantage, that'll get you up.
The offense right now for UMBC doing a nice job. We're going to have a wing violation against Hartford, so a fast break opportunity for the Retrievers.
2-0 UMBC. The Retrievers at senior day here. So they honored 16 seniors with the program prior to today's game. They'll be back, not their final game on this field. They'll be here on Wednesday night. Semifinals of the America East tournament. Of course, that's the automatic qualifier. That's their trip to the tournament.
Well, and it's a toss-up between who they'll be playing, either Vermont or Albany. Binghamton's still alive. So amongst those 3 teams, and UMBC has beaten all of them, their only blemish in America East play is to Stony Brook. And the Seawolves right now offensively are just a dynamic team.
Max Davis shoots and scores. Well, Davis, he can give you something on both ends, Mark. He's a complete midi and fires one home there.
Breakthrough season as a sophomore, struggled a little bit as a junior, moved to defensive midfield, but Don Zimmerman recognizes his prowess offensively. This is just a beautiful dodge, really a bull dodge from left to right, keeping the stick in his right hand at all times, and fundamentally plants his feet, whips the stick back, no screen, and that's how you have to beat Bemet. Keep your feet moving and keep that shot in a good position.
6 goals on the year for Davis, but 4 of them in the last 2 games. He had a hat trick last week and scored the overtime winner against Vermont. So Max Davis playing some real good lacrosse for the Retrievers.
And that's what you need this time of year. Not only do you need production, but you need production and leadership from your seniors. And Davis has stepped up and really done a nice job.
Tight passing lane right there. And the ground ball is controlled by UMBC.
Well, it's great ground ball right there.
Dave Brown, yeah.
By Dave Brown. The ball was in close, and he kicked it out, used his feet. And when you're teaching young players and players that are from new to the game, that is just such a critical aspect of lacrosse. You can kick a lacrosse ball. Kick it when it's at your feet. Get it to green and pick it up. Nice ground ball by Brown.
Just saw a graphic. UMBC has dominated in the America East at home. 16 wins and 18 conference home games. They're on top 3-0 first quarter. Final regular season game for both teams. UMBC will go on to the America East tournament. Hartford, this is it for them. They're 3-10. They'll go home after this one. 11-1 shot advantage. UMBC in possession. And Scott Bemet must be thinking, hey, how about playing down the other end for a while, guys?
His defense, they've been running like ragged over the last couple minutes.
There's the cutter again, turning the corner. Rob Grimm. You can see the game plan, Mark, offensively. Been curling around the goal and finding some opportunities. Oh, look out there.
When you look at Hartford, this is a very young team. Their leading scorers are sophomores. When you look at the all-conference team from a season ago, Bemet as a freshman, all-conference. Connor Flynn as a sophomore, all-conference. He's injured. Then you also have a couple of other players. Cudmore is strong. Tim Fallon is a junior. So it's a young team. They just can't put it together. And not like that turnover.
Not a smart play there.
No.
You want some possession time, right? Get a good shot, and they forced the issue early, and here's UMBC right back looking down the barrel as Scott Bemet. Under 5 minutes to play first quarter. It's been all UMBC. The Retrievers on top 3-0. They're after their 4th straight win, and that's a pretty good way to go into the postseason. They have gained some momentum because they had a tough go for a while.
They really did. Their strength of schedule, I do some calculations on my own. They're not available. The strength of schedule is probably going to be anywhere between 20 and 30. and their RPI right now is sitting at 34, as evidenced by a 4-7 record. So the America East automatic qualifier, Scott, is the ticket for UMBC. They're not even going to be able to get an at-large berth. Mathematically, if they win this game and then win the America East tournament, they already have the AQ.
There's the curl again. The extra pass in front, the shot, and the score. Jamie Kimball faking, shaking, and making.
It's too easy right now for UMBC. These shots are coming from right on the Hartford doorstep. Look at the triple team. That was a three-man slide, and good ball movement by UMBC leaves the backside completely exposed. Kimballs throws 1, 2, 3 fakes, gets Bement off his line and just slips it past the sophomore netminder.
Some pretty good ups from Scott Bement, but Jamie Kimball finishes UMBC 4-0.
In 2025, lacrosse will be a
UMBC with a 13-1 shot advantage and a 4-0 lead on the scoreboard.
It's been all retrievers, and they continue. Here's Impalaria on the face-off. Nice ground ball by Hartford. They need to get something going. No execution thus far for the Hawks on offense.
And do you think Don Zimmerman and his staff reminded the retrievers what happened last year against Hartford?
I think there was probably a mention or two this week. Back to UMBC, I kind of misspoke. They need to win the America East tournament. They win this game, they go 5-7. They win their first
6
round
and 7.
game.
6 and 8 is not going to do
no,
it.
So they will be mathematically eliminated should they not win the America East Conference tournament. So really, the only team that has a shot at an at-large berth from the America East is Stony Brook at this point in time.
UMBC would have to win their semifinal game at home, and I guess there'd be a chance they could host the second game, right, depending on how the other semifinal
if Stony
goes.
Brook is upset.
Yeah, Stony Brook gets knocked out. Hartford trying to get on the scoreboard here. The Hawks trail 4-0. Only one shot for Hartford so far. Runner. Jared Franzi. It's one of those young guys you talked about. He's got 17 goals, and he's just a freshman.
And Franzi has been the America East Rookie of the Week on 2 or 3 different occasions this season, so I think that speaks to his ability and really the depth that Coach Peter Lawrence is building up at Hartford. Again, a very young team and some talent. They need that breakthrough season.
And there's a shot in the score, so they get on the board. Vinny Polizzi, the junior from Bohemia, New York, with a right-hand runner, and Hartford off to Schneid.
Great shot. Nice dodge by Polizzi. And look at the placement of this high-to-low shot. Left-handed goaltender, and it's low and away off hip. That's just beautiful placement. And Polizzi, Hartford's not on television much, Scott. Look at Polizzi recognize the camera and give a little X factor to the camera.
Yeah, you know what? There are a lot of games televised on the U, national games now, but I think this is their first game on ESPNU this year, and
they're excited.
It's a big thing for them. Here they come. You know they can win faceoffs. They're about 61% on the year, so they'll get possessions. You got to play some defense. Hartford stops the clock. Coach Peter Lawrence with 2:01 to play here in the first quarter. Now he's got something positive to talk about. Because
good timeout, trying to save possession and get a nice offensive push here. Hartford gets their first on the board of the afternoon. They're just trying to build on that momentum.
The latest news, results, videos, and statistics are just a click away.
There you go, Mark. Your RPI.
In the at-large selections, Hopkins 6-7, They need to beat Loyola next week to stay mathematically alive. And if Loyola can beat Denver tomorrow, that's going to boost the RPI of Hopkins should they knock off the Greyhounds. And then you've got Notre Dame tonight, 7 o'clock against Syracuse. Notre Dame wins that game. That'll tremendously boost their RPI. They already have 2 big wins against Loyola and Duke. It's tournament time, Scott. And this is when you start looking at the numbers,
absolutely,
crunching the data.
Okay, worst case scenario for Loyola. Should they lose today or tomorrow, not get that automatic qualifier in the conference, and lose to Hopkins next week at 9-4, do they get in?
They've got a great RPI right now. If they lose to Denver, it'll take a dip. And if they lose to Hopkins, it'll take a dip. So they've got to be very cautious. It's a slippery slope for Loyola.
Win today and they don't have to worry about it, right?
Exactly.
Or tomorrow.
They take care, and you hear that from coaches all the time. Win, leave it in your hands. Yeah. Unfortunately, very much like Stony Brook, the ECAC not tremendously strong this year in terms of out-of-conference record, out-of-conference wins, and that's going to play against Loyola, who will have a strong strength of schedule.
Little over a minute left here in the first quarter. UMBC on top of Hartford 4-1. UMBC trying to wrap up the regular season with 4 straight wins and head into that semifinal game in the America East tournament. It's been a long year for Hartford. They're 3-10. They've lost 5 of those 10 games by 1 goal, 2 of those in overtime. A little better possession here. Gave the defense a little rest. Let's see if they can finish it. In on goal, the left-hander shot and a score. Carter Bender with his 17th goal of the year. Found some room inside and nobody slid across to pick him up.
Bender, a little bit of a hybrid player. He's Canadian out of Celadon, Ontario. He can play both midfield and attack. And UMBC on this last defensive sequence in somewhat of a zone defense, and they let Bender just run by 2 white jerseys like they weren't even there. So Bender, with the 17th of the season at Hartford, is right back in this game.
Well, in about a minute and a half, 2 Hartford goals, and they tighten it up. And another face-off win. Tim Fallon, he's one of the best in the country. He is 6th in the nation. And when it comes to ground balls, he leads the nation with 9 ground balls per game. .20 seconds left in the quarter. Check of the clock. This is Polizzi, who scored the first goal. Jumping left-hander, a nice save. Adam Cohen on that one.
That's a big save by Cohen.
What a way it would have been for Hartford to end the quarter, right? 3 straight goals. It's a 4-3 game. Instead, Adam Cohen says, slams the door closed. 1 in the books here at UMBC Stadium. Retrievers on top 4-2. It's senior day on the UMBC campus as they honor 16 of the seniors who've been part of this program the last 4 years. The Sports Authority presents Old Spice ESPNU Lacrosse. Quarter number 2 underway. We got a push. Possession Hartford.
It was a win by UMBC, but referee Rich Tamburino called a withholding call on UMBC, putting the stick up against the chest.
Okay.
In lacrosse, that's a no-no. Can't put the stick across your chest and cannot put your thumb over the ball. Both of those will earn you withholding calls, and that's what we have on the Retrievers right now.
Well, Hartford has scored the last 2 goals.
But again, all UMBC up until the last 2.5 minutes of that first quarter. The Hawks, they've won the face-off battle. They've gotten the possessions. They just haven't taken care of the ball, but they're starting to do so right now. And you see, when they take care of the ball, they're very dangerous offensively.
Matt Latham with 2 goals to get UMBC started. And then Davis and Kimball scored. It was 4-0. And then with 2:15 left, Polizzi got Hartford on the board. And with 44 seconds, Bender scored. And in the final 10 seconds, we had a real good save from Adam Cohen, or it could have been 4-3. Scarlet and white for the Hartford Hawks, and there's another turnover.
Nice ground ball by Camardo. UMBC right now playing strictly zone against Hartford.
Oh, nice in front, and the finish. Matt Kress gets that rare opportunity to put the biscuit in the basket.
It's senior day here in Catonsville. Senior to senior. Max Davis to Matt Kress. A long pole's dream to get underneath the defense, one-on-one with the goalie. He makes the most of it, slips it past Bement. Slow break, good recognition by Davis, and good continuing to the goal by Matt Kress, making himself available and then scoring the goal.
2 points on the afternoon for Max Davis, a goal and now an assist. And Matt Kress got a senior day to remember.
Name in the paper and a date for the prom.
This is Genick. He's their leading scorer, 34 goals, 9 assists, 6 hat tricks on the year for the sophomore from Toronto.
We see Opoff matching up on him.
There's the Hartford domination at the X, and they've done that most of the year.
And there's a reason why Fallon's at 61%, one of the best in the country. When we talk about UMBC's defense, their top cover guy, Bobby Atwell, left the team a couple of weeks ago for personal reasons, decided not to continue on with his season. UMBC's had to adjust, but it's nice to have some seniors back there to fill that void. Opoff and Kress in particular, and also Brian Schneider has done a real nice job for Don Zimmerman.
This is Franzi. Similar to his first goal, lets it rip. Pretty good defense on him, but goes upstairs and gets it past Adam Cohen, and it's 5-3.
The freshman out of Glenville, New York, Niskayuna High School, having just a terrific freshman campaign for the Hartford Hawks. This is just a bull dodge, and he runs through the stick checks. Jordan Pierce at time would have done well to use his arms to push Franzi away from the goal a little bit more and knock him off balance, but Franzi steps away himself, jump shot, gets some leverage and puts a nice high-to-high bullet past Cohen.
Number 18 for Franzi. It was Polizzi that had the first goal that looked similar to that one. And another face-off win. Look out. Open in the middle of the shot and the score. So bang, bang, the Hawks can get them in a hurry. That goal was scored by Michael Cudmore.
Great job by Cudmore. We're going to take it from the face-off. Fallon, pinch and pop, plays it to himself. And this is where Fallon is dangerous. He's not just a Fogo. He can assist and score. Great vision. Cudmore cuts to the cage. Beautiful feed. And the junior sticks another goal. Cudmore, the leading scorer in the midfield for Hartford.
It's 2 Hartford goals, 10 seconds apart, and suddenly we've got a 1-goal game. Remember, UMBC jumped out 4-0. Nearly picked off that time as Brian Schneider jumped out into the passing lane. Looks like
when you fall behind, the great equalizer can be your face-off man, because if you could score goals, it gives you an opportunity to win possession back. And right now, Fallon just dominating on the face-off.
Looks like double digits might have to win this game, right?
High scoring.
Goals are coming in a hurry now.
Very potent offenses. If you're Don Zimmerman, you're probably a little disappointed at what your defense has turned out. Late first quarter, now early second.
That's wide. Possession stays Hartford's way. The Hawks trying to end their season on a high note. Last year, they shocked UMBC. The Retrievers were ranked 6th at the time. Nunemaker back behind the goal. Davis defending on him. Long possession here. And they're Thought we were going to get a stall warning. No call.
Crease violation against Hartford. See referee Kevin Forrester making the call. Hustling to the cone.
I think he threw a flag on you before the game, didn't he? There was a flag that sailed over by where we were standing, and it seemed to be closer to you than me.
Forrester is known for his moonshot flag tosses, so something fell out of the sky.
And I don't think the flag was on me. It seemed like everybody was pointing toward you.
Of course, I put my arms up. I didn't do it. What, me?
1-goal lead for UMBC. The Retrievers 4-7 on the year, 3-1 in the conference, but only 1-4 at home. It's been tough go at home. We saw how dominant they've been in the conference at home. 16 out of their last 18 have been wins.
And it's been a while since they've been on offense in this game, and that's due to Fallon's work and the execution of the Hartford offense. So a big possession for UMBC to try to get back in this thing. They do have a goal this quarter, but that was in transition, Davis to Kress.
Nick Dobb. This is Weimer. Weimer's goals and assists fairly even. 14 goals, 18 assists coming in. That's wide right. Nick Dobb let it rip.
And there you've seen how Weimer has elevated his game. He was primarily a dodger first 3 seasons here in Catonsville. There he dodged, short stick matchup, got himself free. He could have taken that shot, but he slid it down to his line mate who had a better angle, closer range. It just was off by a few inches.
Weimer with a pick up top. Good aggressive defense. Down he goes. Ball loose. Ooh, Hawks had a great chance. Missed it. Kind of whiffed on the bounce.
Opportunity to get it off the carpet and get in transition.
Loose in front. Try to get it to the cutting Chris Jones.
Well, you have to give Hartford credit. They've made some adjustments defensively. Yep. First quarter, the UMBC shooters are making a living
easy
on
goals.
Bemet's porch. And now Hartford has tightened up their interior defense, and they're keeping UMBC at bay.
Ground balls are even. Remember, 8th in the nation for Hartford. In on goal and a save. Rebound. Cohen made the initial save. Thought Hartford might have a chance on the rebound.
Look at Bemet channeling another former America East goalie, Brett Queener of Albany.
End to end.
That was a good shot. That was a nice save. Look at Bemet. Look at that's placement right there. I think it probably didn't go as far left as he wanted it to, as Cohen was able to make the save with his body. But Bemet, not only a good stopper, but very impressive outside the cage.
He took it wall to wall, but the save from Cohen, UMBC up by 1. Won women's lacrosse championships, returning to Towson University May 28th and 30th at Johnny Unitas Stadium. To purchase your tickets, visit Ticketmaster.com today. Great month of lacrosse in the Baltimore area. NCAA Women's Championships at Towson, and of course the Men's Championship on Memorial Day, Saturday and Monday, Memorial Day weekend at Raven Stadium, M&T Bank.
We talk about the women's side. University of Maryland won the ACC championship a week ago. They're the nation's new #1 team, and we've got a great matchup tomorrow on ESPNU, Scott. Ohio State versus Johns Hopkins, a key American Lacrosse Conference battle. And, of course, the American Lacrosse Conference home to Northwestern, the 5-time defending national champion in the women's game.
Somebody got a shot at them this year?
North Carolina's already beaten them.
Yeah.
North Carolina has beaten
I'm saying in the tournament, it's not a lock, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a little bit more wide open this year. Northwestern's still very, very good, but I think they're very beatable.
1-goal lead for UMBC. Hartford with a chance to tie it up. A little over 8 minutes to play in the first half. Scott Garceau, Mark Dixon on a gorgeous day at UMBC Stadium. Temperatures in the 80s, and conditioning will be important when we get down to that fourth quarter.
Both of these teams, I think, will benefit from us being here today. The television timeouts, but UMBC right now in transition.
The swim move, and they didn't swim it free. And a shot and a score. Basically a wrister, a quick one from Matt Latham. And Latham now has a hat trick.
You took the words right out of my mouth. It's NHL hockey playoff time, and this is just like a break hitting Latham on the point. And this is just great wrist strength and a quick release. Didn't allow Bement to set his feet. And Latham, the senior out of Liberty High School in Maryland, gets his third goal of the game.
6-4 UMBC. Back to the X we go. Procedure call. Here comes Fallon. Tim Fallon, again, his game last week, won 22 of 28 faceoffs, had 16 ground balls, and scored a hat trick. That's about as good as it gets.
But still lost.
And so, yeah, right.
That's just an unbelievable.
You think he walked in and said, "Come on, guys,
yeah.
I need some help."
I think that speaks to Fallon's athletic ability as well as his lacrosse ability, not only to win the faceoffs, but to score those goals. And he also has some vision. We've seen him today with an assist to Cudmore.
This is Franzi up top, going to take a run. He's a freshman. Jordan Pierce defending him. Adam Cohen, the freshman, in goal for the Retrievers. Severn School. He's from Arnold, Maryland. He's 4-3 since he became a starter. Gannick on the wing. Yeah, you see the shots closing. Was 10 or 11-1 at one point.
Well, Hartford's done well to settle themselves down, take care of the ball a little bit better.
Mike Bryan defending. Now gets some help. And it comes up top to Franzi.
Got to be careful of Franzi. He likes to hide that stick and shoot it.
That's the same spot he hit the previous goal, yeah.
That was better defense, though, as the glove was on the hands of Franzi.
Mm-hmm. Left-hand bouncer. Cohen knocks that one down. Sam Eitel with the ground ball, and now the Retrievers try to clear. 6 minutes to play, first half. UMBC led 4-2 after one. My partner almost fell out of the booth here, where we call it the birdhouse.
Yeah, try to get a better look at the field.
And you almost fell out on me. Don Zimmerman, look at him running up the sidelines.
Looked like that was another substitution violation on UMBC. If that's the case, that's their second of the afternoon.
What's happening? What's happening on that situation generally?
Basically, what you have is for one player to go off, you have to wait for the one player to be completely off the field before the new player enters the field. That's one. The other one is when a player exits, you have to have a player come on within 3 to 5 seconds, or it's an illegal substitution, a delayed substitution.
So you could be early or late, right?
Yeah. And typically teams will do it late when they want to have someone at the box in a clearing opportunity. It's almost like you're hiding that player in the box.
So no deception, right? Down 2, Hartford Hawks with possession here. 6-4, under 5 to play first half. Left-hand turn, shoot, and score. Carter Bender with his second goal of the game.
Impressed with the shooting ability of Hartford, and you ask me what's happening right now. Hartford is executing and UMBC is not. This is a terrific left-handed shot. Look, triple team by the UMBC defense. Feed into Bender, spins around and delivers a hard shot.
Yeah, great location on the shot. It's 6-5 UMBC.
Lacrosse Power.
Well, Mark, we've talked about Tim Fallon. He's won 10 of 12 faceoffs.
And that's why he's all conference when it comes to faceoffs.
There's another one.
Him and Adam Rand of Stony Brook, two of the most dominant faceoff men in the country. Unfortunately for Fallon, his team struggling this year, 3-10. Number 4 in the preseason poll for the America East. So they were predicted to make the conference tournament. They will not. Whereas Adam Rand and the Stony Brook Seawolves will be the number 1 team, number 1 seed, and the host if they win their semifinal game, and the road to the NCAAs through the America East goes through Stony Brook.
Latham with 3 goals for UMBC. Bender with 2 for the Hartford Hawks. Hartford hasn't won a road game this year. They're 0-5 on the road. Franzi. Pass inside. Trying to spin out of some traffic was Genick, and he couldn't get free.
Nice collapsing defense by UMBC. Watch out.
Scott Kessler playing some defense using the body.
A little bit of a buddy pass that time.
Yeah.
Hartford's very physical offensively. They like to get in on you.
Cudmore right there.
And that's the Canadian style of play in those box areas where these players grow up. It's such tight quarters and everything is very physical. And Hartford certainly doesn't shy away from that on the offensive end.
Genick, Canadian. Cudmore is a Canadian. Peter Lawrence tapped the Canadian players.
It started with Jack McGetrick back in the early 90s being head coach for Hartford. A lot of Canadian players coming through Connecticut. Tracy Koluski, one of the most notable, an all-star in the National Lacrosse League, the Indoor League, but that's a nice turnover.
That's Jordan Pierce. Nice play. Pierce running it up. Good pass in front and a nice save. Bamet up high. Makes the save, and here come the Hawks.
Nifty look from Pierce and a great save by Bamet.
Tried to get it back in front, couldn't connect to Napton. Good look there, and the left-hand shot and the score. Ryan Compitello with the lefty, the sophomore from New York. Makes it a 1-goal game.
We always talk about defense becoming offense, and look at the nice save by Bamet. Not only the nice save, Scott, but the quick outlet pass. Then Mike Camardo for UMBC makes an uncharacteristic mistake, turns the wrong way into a rider for Hartford. Loose ball, feed to Compitello, and he sticks it.
So we're tied at 6. Nice comeback for Hartford. They trailed 4-0 in the early going here.
During break, we said something has to happen for Hartford when they fell behind 4-0, or this is going to be a runaway.
And UMBC had all the possession time early on. Hartford was turning it over early in this game. Part of it is score, get the ball back. Yep. You dominate at the X.
Well, big difference from the first quarter to now. Hartford was winning possession, turning the ball over, sloppy play,
and turning it over early in the possession, too.
Absolutely. And in the second quarter, they've done a much better job of taking care of the ball and executing offensively, outscoring the Retrievers 4-2 in this frame.
Under 2 minutes left in the half. Hartford with a chance to take their first lead in this game. Shot knocked down by the defense. That was Max Davis. Got a chunk of that shot. It's a goalie's best friend.
That and the pipes.
Yeah.
I guess so. It's anyone who keeps the ball out of the back of the net is a goalie's best friend.
Pass sailed over the head of Bose, but he maintains possession. Oh, somebody better stop the ball, and they don't. Bose goes in. Where was the defense, Mark? Just a breakdown.
Not only a seemingly a breakdown in close quarters, but when that ball went over the head of Bose, Matt Latham wasn't checking up on the defender, and that's just a great individual effort by Bose. Beats the defender. The desperation check unsuccessful, and look at the poise of Bose to switch from right to left and give himself a better angle to slip it past Cohen far side. Right now, individually, Hartford is winning them one-on-one matchups.
And Hartford has scored 5 of the last 6 goals in the game to take their first lead of the day. Well, they upset UMBC last year. It was pretty much a shocker back then because UMBC was 6th in the nation. And they're after him again today on Senior Day at UMBC.
This upset, if you will, if it sticks to this script, UMBC's already cemented themselves as the number 2 seed. They're guaranteed a home playoff game, but you just don't want to go into your postseason on a down note. UMBC was able to fight through it last year, win the America East. Maybe it's a motivator. I'm not really sure, but I think that you're definitely your ears are raised a little bit more when you're trying to avenge an upset from a year ago.
Yeah, you win at your UMBC, you go into the tournament 4 straight wins, you're feeling good about yourself. Polizzi with a runner there, wide left.
And I think the other thing is when you jump out 4-0, you've had that lead, you were controlling play, and when you look back to the Johns Hopkins Navy game last weekend, Hopkins 5-0 at the end of the first quarter. Navy then scores 6 in a row and eventually took that game in overtime. So I think in the sport of lacrosse, it's safe to say that no lead is secure when you have a great face-off man like Hartford does in Tim Fallon.
Under 30 seconds now. Hartford happy to maintain possession. Worst off they'll be is up at the half, 7-6, when they've been down the entire half.
And we've got 13 goals in the first half. Great offense, 0 stall warnings.
Good point. We talked about conditioning, what factor that might be in the second half on a day up into the mid-80s. Oh, good opportunity there. Spinning, turning, and getting knocked down was Genick. Leading goal scorer on the team, leading point scorer, 34 goals, 43 points coming into this game.
He's got double donuts so far, no points.
UMBC with possession, they throw it down the length of the field, and time has expired. So a pretty impressive comeback for Hartford when they look like it may not have been their day early, Mark. UMBC jumped them 4 quick goals. It was 4-0 with 3:54 left in the first quarter.
And all the goals, first three goals scored by seniors, Latham with 2 and Davis. So the emotion of that ceremony carrying over. UMBC took advantage of some turnovers, took advantage of sloppy play by Hartford, and really got up early. But credit the Hawks. Last couple minutes of the first quarter, they dominated, got back into the game, and they carried that momentum into the second quarter and dominated the UMBC Retrievers to take this 1-goal advantage into the intermission.
Time for our Geico Coach's Corner. We go down to the field, and Hartford head coach Peter Lawrence joins us. Peter, it looked like 2 different teams there. You guys dug yourselves a pretty deep hole, down 4-0, but really came back.
I like the way our guys are rallying there, and this has become a good little rivalry last year, and we're going to play hard.
Coach, I guess when you have a face-off man, the prowess of Tim Fallon, when you fall behind like that, you can really get him involved in the game, and he's done a terrific job for you today.
He's done a great job all year. He's been our team MVP. We've said that, and our recipe for success is win face-offs, get great goalie play, and dominate the ground ball battle. And I think obviously it helps when you have Timmy at the face-off X. That gets us a lot of extra possessions.
Peter, what's your message when you go in and talk to your team now?
I think we got to come out, and we got to come out flying these first 5 minutes and set the tone for how we're going to play in the second half. We came here knowing this was going to be a war, and I know Zim will go in there. He'll get his guys fired up. I would expect nothing less, and we're going to do the same for our guys.
All right, Peter, thanks for your time. Peter Lawrence, head coach of Hartford. They're up at the half here with a nice comeback. They lead UMBC 7-6.
And that's 1-800-824-0799 or go online.
We're at the half at UMBC Stadium. Hartford on top of the Retrievers on Senior Day, 7-6. Time for our halftime feature with Rick White, who gives us some flavor of the game.
When I was growing up and you said ball and stick, you'd think baseball. But nowadays, that game seems to be lacrosse.
Lacrosse is like every sport, with its pageantry, rivalries, and history. But what makes lacrosse different is that it's a game for the whole family. And it all starts at the youngest of ages.
Ah! Eddie?
Fathers as coaches pass it down to kids.
Come on, Johnny, shoot! Break!
Bottom foot, right there. Bring me that foot. Boom. Turn. There you go, see?
Who's in the hole here? That's it, Brian. That's it, get ready.
Look out. Everybody looking out, looking out, looking out, looking out, looking out, looking out, looking out. Are you ready, Jeff? Pick it up, go!
Players willing to share their knowledge with all of those willing to learn.
Good job. You want to scrape your knuckles along the ground and then bring it up to your shoulder. Really fast, fast as you can, fast as you can. Oh, good job.
It's a game of fun It's a game of passion. All you need is a ball, a stick, and a wall, and then you got game. But make sure you watch out for that window.
This week's Geico Scholar Athlete is Kyle Weimer. Kyle is a UMBC senior majoring in business, technology, administration, and carrying a 3.06 grade point average. Congratulations to Scholar Athlete Kyle Weimer from Geico. We're at the half. Hartford leads UMBC 7-6.
It's not about.
They're the solution.
Let's take a look at our Sports Authority halftime highlights here. UMBC had it all going early, Mark. They jumped on top 4-0.
Yeah, on senior day, Matt Latham on a great feed from Rich May, and he gets the first of his 3 goals in the first half.
And then Max Davis made it 3-0.
Just a stop and pop. It was Retrievers early on as they took advantage of several Hartford miscues. Then we're going to see Jamie Kimball's, and this looked like it was going to be a runaway.
And then Polizzi got Hartford on the board, made it 4-1. Then it was Bender's turn.
Bender, so impressive with the stick in his left hand, just runs by the UMBC defense, and at the end of the first quarter, the momentum shifted.
5-2 at this point, the freshman,
Franzi with his second, just a great move to the goal and a beautiful jump shot. Then we're going to see Michael Cudmore off of the faceoff. Tim Fallon dominated the faceoff square in the first half. There he gets an assist to his line mate Cudmore, and all of a sudden Hartford was rolling.
It was 5-4, and then Latham makes it the hat trick.
Yeah, great shot, and it looked like UMBC was ready to seize back the momentum. But to close the first half, Hartford goes on a 3-0 run. This is Campitello off of the broken down clear attempt by UMBC. And then we're going to see Bowes pick up a loose ball and just run by the UMBC defense. And he gives Hartford a 7-6 lead at the break.
ESPNU coverage of college baseball continues with 2 games. First at 2. Don, I'm sure you're not happy with the second quarter. You guys came out roaring, and then things changed for you.
You know, Hartford credit for that. They stuck with it and, beating us to ground balls. We got to figure out the face-off situation. But I just think we got to get back to hustle, enthusiasm. We lost a little life there in the second quarter, and we got to get it back here in the second half.
Coach Tim Fallon at the face-off for Hartford, really dominating things, winning them a lot of possessions. Any adjustments you addressed at halftime to try to control that?
Well, we have to have a better job by our face-off guys trying to neutralize him, and then our wings have to do a much better job getting in and helping out, getting the ground ball.
Don, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Second
guys.
half coming up. Don Zimmerman's UMBC Retrievers trail by 1. It's 7-6 Hartford at the half. The Sports Authority presents Old Spice, ESPNU Lacrosse. Well, it's the final 30 minutes of the season for the Hartford Hawks, Mark. Nothing left in the tank, right? Empty it.
Well, don't tell them that. They're playing their hearts out, responding from an early deficit. They did this against Binghamton last week. Fell behind by 6 or 7 goals.
Yeah, 7-1. Came back and tied it, right?
Fought back against the Bearcats. So even when UMBC almost wins a face-off, they lose it courtesy of a violation. So Hartford, right now, this is a big defensive stand for the UMBC Retrievers. Hartford's offense really slapped them around there in the second quarter, scoring 5 goals.
Seven of the last 9 goals in the game have been scored by Hartford after that 4-0 UMBC lead. They were up 4-0 with under 4 minutes left in the first quarter.
UMBC being a little bit more aggressive defensively here to open up the third quarter. Slipping out of their zone.
That's Opoff playing defense there. Ball loose and created a turnover. Give him a cause turnover for that one. Lance Opoff, he's a senior from Alexandria, Virginia.
Just picks the pocket. Great check. Like a windshield wiper. Faked the back check. Came down front side to dislodge the ball and create the turnover.
Max Davis loses the handle. 10-second call? What was the call there?
I think it was out of bounds.
Okay.
So Davis just living dangerously, getting too close to the sideline, pushed out. Referee
Yeah, he
Michael
lost
Cross.
the handle.
Michael Cross right there to make the call.
Yeah, there you go. He's out, tried to kick it back in, too late.
Got to know where you are. Got to know the real estate, the geography, where you're located on the field.
Don Zimmerman, 202 wins in his career, 121 losses. America East Coach of the Year 3 of the past 4 years. Has really put UMBC lacrosse on the map. Ooh, good physical check there. Was Sam Eitel. Just squaring up the shoulders.
I was wondering when Peter Lawrence is going to call a timeout. Bement did a nice job of maintaining possession, but Eitel, that's like a shark to chum. When a goaltender's out of the goal, that's like a quarterback scrambling. Yeah. It's open season, and Eitel did a nice job of standing him up and playing some nice, hard, aggressive defense.
13:22 to play in the third quarter. Final regular season game for both of these teams. UMBC will advance to the America East Tournament on Wednesday night. Hartford, this is it for them. Coverage of men's college lacrosse continues today with a doubleheader. First at 5 Eastern, the Cornell Big Red face the Princeton Tigers. Then at 7 Eastern, the Syracuse Orange take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Old Spice, ESPNU Lacrosse today. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com.
Well, how about the Ivy League, Scott? First ever postseason tournament. Last day of competition is today. 6 of the 7 teams are alive. Penn is the only team mathematically eliminated, and they're all playing one another today. It's Dartmouth versus Brown, Harvard versus Yale, and at 5 o'clock, Cornell versus Princeton. So many scenarios as to who gets in. Here's a couple for you.
What's the Mason-Dixon line on Cornell and Princeton?
I got Cornell by 1.
Okay.
I picked the Big Red to spring that upset, but if Princeton wins, they're the number 1 seed, and they'll host the tournament throughout. Cornell with a win could be the number 1 seed. With a loss, they could be out of it completely.
Wow.
That's how wild the scenarios are in the Ivy League.
Right here, we've got a 1-goal Hartford lead, 7-6, third quarter. Got the Big Red of Cornell and the scarlet and white here for the Hawks. Bose spins back to the left hand. Oh, good pass in front. Wide open on the doorstep. Genick, and you can't give him that kind of space right out in front. He'll beat you every time.
They kept him off of the score sheet. UMBC did in the first half. But here we're going to see, again, Bose, a nice dodge. Splits left to right, comes back left, draws the slide, and Genick just slips into the open area, vacated by the sliding defender. A spin and shoot, and that feels good for Aiden Genick.
Averaging a little under 3 goals per game. He's 12th in the nation, 2.62 goals per game. He has 6 hat tricks this season. Genick, the sophomore from Toronto.
Well, Hartford right now is on a 4-0 run. Going back to 4 minutes and 52 seconds left in the second quarter. So
and
UMBC,
6 of the last 7.
Real dry spell by the Retrievers.
And it's tough when you're trying to fight out of a dry spell when, you know, you're getting controlled on the faceoff. And unlike early in the first quarter, Hartford now good possessions, not rushing anything, not turning it over like they were early in this game.
Well, they're playing comfortable lacrosse, and that's what happens when you score a couple of goals and get some things to go your way.
You got a 7-pound bee after Mark Dixon here. He just saw you for lunch. 14-3 advantage on faceoffs for Tim Fallon. He takes them all. Came into this game having taken 304 faceoffs this year. UMBC up with a good ground ball there. This is Max Davis. Little dash for the cash. The trailer shot and the score. So Davis started it, and the Retrievers finish it with Matt Latham scoring his 4th goal of the afternoon.
Matt Latham showing why I should have highlighted him as an impact player. Another slow break. Latham at the point, and he is such a talented shooter. He does such a great job releasing. And how about Max Davis? That's his 3rd assist of this game.
He's got a goal to go with it. So 4-point afternoon. UMBC hustling after that ground ball. Good effort. Kyle Weimer ran about a quarter mile.
Genick just got his first marker of the game. Weimer, the most dangerous midfield threat, number 20, the senior, out of Queen Anne's High School. He's been held scoreless, but Max Davis out of the Friends School having a great day. 1 goal. Unofficially, I've got him at 3 assists. He definitely has 2.
Hawks try to clear. They're on top by 1. 3rd quarter. Scott Garceau, Mark Dixon with you from UMBC Stadium. It's senior day, final regular season game for both of these teams. UMBC will advance to the America East tournament. Right here, they'll host a semifinal game on Wednesday night. Stick down, ball down, Hawks possession.
So Max Davis officially at 2 assists for the UMBC Retrievers, but his transition offense has really sparked UMBC, and we'll see if that last assist and goal by Matt Latham can generate some momentum for the Retrievers. But that was a nice ride by UMBC, then equally nice pressure by Hartford to create that loose ball and win back possession and get an offensive sequence.
Franzi up top, now they go on the wing. Back to Franzi. Fires wide, backed up. Possession stays with Hartford. In goal, Adam Cohen. Franzi rolls back to the right side, draws the double and bounces it over the cage. Possession stays. Genick back at the X, defended by Kress. Genick gets in front. Knocked down, ball loose.
That was a terrific slide by the UMBC defender, Sam Eitel. Textbook slide, textbook hit. Look at Kress get topside position, and look at the perfectly timed slide with the hands through the shoulders, but that looks like a stinger on Sam Eitel. Hits him with the shoulder, and it looks, I've had a stinger before. I don't want to speculate, but Sam Eitel down after a terrific hit.
We got a timeout, 9:32 to play 3rd quarter. Hartford up 8-7. They've been big at the X. Tim Fallon, one of the best in the nation.
Freshest and mention T.
Championships May 29 through the 31st at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. For tickets, call 410-261-RAVE or log on to ncaa.com/lacrosse.
Well, right now the rankings don't mean a whole lot. The RPIs are out. And they'll have another fresh batch coming with this Monday morning, but really it's the road to Baltimore, and ESPNU is your home for all of the NCAA tournament action in college lacrosse.
Most surprising team in that top 10, would it be Stony Brook?
Probably Stony Brook, and it's more of moving up the rankings due to attrition. All the upsets last week, Princeton losing, we had Cornell losing, other teams really falling by the wayside, and Stony Brook and Loyola are 2 teams that just keep winning. They just keep climbing the charts.
Polizzi trying to run through some traffic off the pipe. And Polizzi there to back it up. Good hustle from UMBC as Mike Bryan tried to get there.
After this weekend, we'll have two of the automatic qualifiers solved. Of course, tomorrow, Loyola versus Denver in Vesco Field in the Mile High City. And then Army-Navy for the Colonial Athletic Association Championship. Navy has to win that game. They're sitting at 7-7. If they lose, they're mathematically eliminated at 7-8. No chance at an at-large berth. Army, a very, very remote long shot to get an at-large berth if they don't win the conference championship and the automatic qualifier that goes with it. Mathematically, they qualify, but I don't think they're going to have the wins or strength of schedule to get in.
Justin Burst back behind the cage. Davis, good position defense, kind of pushed him back as he tried to get to the cage. Hartford patient possession here. They get a good shot and a score. Well, Cohen looked like he got his stick on it, but to deflect it up right underneath the crossbar for the score.
I actually thought that this was going to hit off the pipe, but that's just beautiful placement. It nestles in the top shelf, the inside corner of the net. That is Bender over to Whalen, and a great connection. Two sophomores sharing the ball, and again, speaking to the youth of Hartford, and the Hawks answer the UMBC score.
Ground ball battle, and can he keep it in? No, he can't. That time, Radabau out for the face-off for UMBC as they try to just shake it up a little bit, see if they can find something against Tim Fallon.
UMBC much improved in 2010 versus 2009 at the face-off category, but today they have had no answer for Tim Fallon.
Halfway through the third quarter, Hartford up by 2, 9-7. Scott Garceau, Mark Dixon with you. It was 4-2 after 1, UMBC. Retrievers actually jumped out 4-0. Hartford rallied 7-6. They led at the half. And now it's 9-7.
And you rewind a year ago, a big reason for the Hartford win over UMBC was Scott Bement in the goal, 19 saves. He's been good today, but he hasn't been that brilliant, that spectacular. It's been Tim Fallon for the Hartford Hawks, and then the offensive execution for Peter Lawrence's team.
Left hand and a save for Cohen. Here come the Retrievers. And finally, traffic, and Weimer gets popped, and there goes the ball, right?
Poor decision by Weimer. I thought he did a great move by keeping the stick in his right hand. But once he got 3 steps inside of that Hartford defense, he either needed to pass it or shoot it. He held it, and Hartford did a great job of knocking him on his backside, taking the ball away.
You saw the save numbers. Adam Cohen with 7 saves. Scott Bement with 4 for Hartford. Six goals in the first quarter, 7 in the second, and 3 so far here in the third combined. This is Bose on the run. Davis defending. Bose getting in his running. On the wing, in the middle, and a quick stick score. Wow. Dissected the defense that time. Rory Nunemaker with the finish, but that's how you draw him up, Mark.
How about the depth of scoring today by Hartford? Nunemaker with his first goal of the afternoon. That's a beautiful feed inside by Ryan Capitello. And what Hartford is doing right now is they're dodging from the midfield, creating the slide, And the redodger is not redodging. He's just simply taking the ball and exchanging and hitting the crease. So it's 1, 2, 3. Hartford really taking advantage of the slides, a feed, and then a second feed to the goal scorer.
Hawks have their biggest lead of the game at 10-7. UMBC had a 4-goal lead to start the game. Now this is it for Hartford. Buses are gassed up. We're going home after this one. They're trying to finish on a high note. Last game for the seniors. We said it's senior day for UMBC. Those seniors know they're going to be playing after today. Not so for the seniors from Hartford. Beautiful afternoon at UMBC Stadium. Temperatures well into the 80s. Scott Garceau and Mark Dixon with you. Two America East Conference teams playing their final regular season game. UMBC 4-7 on the year, but they're 3-1 in the conference. They'll host a semifinal game on Wednesday night. Hartford 3-10 on the year. This is it for them.
Well, how about Hartford? 9 different goal scorers today.
That's spreading it around.
Bender with 2 is their only multiple goal scorer.
Gannick dropped down with a low shot, no problem. The save from Cohen. The possession still belongs to Hartford. In Hartford's story, a tough year, 3-10, but 5 of their 10 losses by 1 goal, 2 of those in overtime. There's the extra pass.
Well, you can just see the confidence with which Hartford is playing right now. Confident with their sticks, confident with their shooting, just picking apart this UMBC defense.
Yeah, goals since after that first quarter, 8-3 advantage Hartford. So who's going to give UMBC that spark, Mark? I guess it starts on this end, right? You got to play defense, but then somebody's got to step up at the other end.
You thought it was going to be Max Davis with that nice assist to Latham. But right now, the spark is all wearing red jerseys.
Yeah, Bender just muscled his way in that time, and good size. He's 6'3", 205 pounds, the sophomore from Ontario, Canada, and no answer for him, and it's another goal for the Hawks.
It's almost a carbon copy of his first goal, running down the left-hand side of the UMBC defense. He's in the alley, and he again just runs by 2 white jerseys who are swinging their sticks, and that was a beautiful pick inside to free him up.
Hartford up by 4.
The big boys.
Justin Radebaugh and Tim Fallon to face it off, and Radebaugh comes up with a face-off win for the Retrievers. They need something good, and they got it. So UMBC wins the draw. Rob Grimm with the finish, and the Retrievers stop the bleeding, Dixie.
You mentioned a spark, and that could be it right there. Out of the timeout, Radebaugh, clean win. Great job of hitting the point man. Point down to the pipe, cross crease. Rob Grimm, great finish. Off of the assist by Chris Jones. So that could be the elixir that gets UMBC healthy and back in this game. And that's a great job of tying Fallon up. When you talk about controlling faceoffs, it's not necessarily about
the game, right?
It's about your wing play. And that time Fallon did a great job of playing it to himself.
And here come the Hawks in on goal. Good save. Nice job by Cohen. But on the rebound, the Hawks convert. So UMBC face-off win. Nice goal. Big save from Cohen. But on the rebound, the Hawks cash in.
So disappointing. This is a nice job by Camardo squeezing. Good stick check. That's a great save. But 2 Retrievers run after the ground ball, are unable to get to it. And Compitello takes the redirect and sticks his second of the afternoon.
Fallon had it, trail check, knocks it loose. He's still after it.
That was terrific wing play by Tim Schaefer. But you can see the strength and the determination of Fallon.
It's a 4-goal lead for the Hawks. Under 3 minutes to play third quarter.
I mean, that stick check was right on his gloves, and Fallon fought it off, was dislodged momentarily, and then was able to regain possession.
Fallon's a junior. They'll be glad to see him return at Hartford from Lowell, Mass. And Hartford, a 1 ground ball advantage.
You think it would be more with the domination on faceoffs, but that speaks to the hustle and the scrappiness of UMBC.
They're 8th in the nation in ground balls. They came in with 443. Their opponents 427.
Caused turnover to UMBC.
Cohen taking a run. He saw Bement do it. He said, I think I'll get out for a little exercise on a nice afternoon. Bement went end-to-end earlier and got a shot on goal. Cohen had to make a nice save.
If you're a Lacrosse fan, this has been a nice, entertaining game. High scoring, some good hits, decent
Extra
goaltending.
pass. Yeah, good save right there by Scott Bement.
And this is only the beginning. 5 o'clock, Princeton Cornell. 7 o'clock, Notre Dame Syracuse. Can the Irish knock off the Orange and strengthen that RPI to grab an at-large berth in the NCAAs?
All over Weimer as soon as the ball comes his way. Defense swarming. Ben Napton on him. Grimm from behind. Weak side pass now over the middle, and he hit the pipe. Man, great opportunity there for the Retrievers.
That was Latham again.
A little over 40 seconds left in the quarter. Kimball's trying to get it inside. Can't connect. Got to push. Takedown. .34 seconds left in the quarter. Getting some decent looks on the possession mark. Just a pipe, a save. This is Jamie Kimball's. Ten seconds. Good look, a shot and a score. So UMBC, it pays off. Chris Jones finishes a good possession. They just couldn't find the back of the net, but Chris Jones does. And the lead cut to 12-9.
Good patience, but also great ground ball work by UMBC on this series. A couple of shots off the pipe, or shot off the pipe, a shot saved, and they were loose balls were corralled by UMBC. And here's the result. Rob Grimm, great dodge, good vision. Jones finds an open space, nice shot, low to stick side, and it gets past Bement.
And a change at the X this time for Hartford is Fallon didn't take that last face-off, I don't think. Give him a little breather, right? Let him catch his breath. 12-9 after 3, back with the fourth quarter. Hartford trying to upset the Retrievers for the second straight year. Here we go, fourth quarter, final 15 minutes for Hartford. And the Hawks on top, 12-9. Their season will be over after this game. UMBC then will get ready to host the America East semifinal game right here at UMBC Stadium on Wednesday. Hawks led 7-6 at the half, 12-9 after 3. They trailed 4-0 early in the game and 4-2 after the first quarter. Nunemaker back behind the goal. List him at 5'10", could be a stretch.
It always is.
Yeah, right. You 6'1", they list you at 6'1"?
In college, I was 5'9".
Shot upstairs and a score. Frenzy.
With emphasis. Franzi, the freshman, does a great job of hiding his stick. That's not bad defense. Look at him, though. Hide that stick behind his right ear. And Jared Franzi, again, almost a carbon copy of his first goal. But that is good defense by Jordan Pierce. That is just a wicked shot by Jared Franzi.
Hard to pick that up in goal because of where it's coming from, right?
High to high with velocity and placement. Great shot.
Well, UMBC in trouble. The Retrievers need to cash in on all these possessions now.
Again, Tim Schaefer, terrific wing play. And we can see the UMBC strategy. They're double polling the faceoff, a long pole in each wing to try to neutralize Fallon. And it pays off right there as Schaefer, clean win for Fallon, but he checks the ball away from the Hartford short stick and gets possession back for the Retrievers.
Kimball's on top for UMBC. They're down 4, fourth quarter action. UMBC after their 4th straight win, but Hartford not cooperating here as they want to go out on top. Their final regular season game a week ago, they were down 7-1, came back, tied it, and wound up losing by 1 goal.
When the Retrievers trying to make their 5th consecutive NCAA tournament appearance. There's Sam Eitel, Scott.
Got the chin bandaged up.
Yeah, it looked like a shoulder to me, but it's just great to see him get up and walk around. Scary moment a couple of weeks ago at the day of SmartLink Day of Rivals, Army-Navy, when Nick Davis crashed into the goal. Was down for a few minutes, but got up under his own power. And the midshipmen get their rematch with the Black Knights tomorrow in West Point. Patriot
Put a star on that game, right?
Yeah.
Chris Jones with that last shot. Says Weimer. Got some space and scores. Beat 2 defenders and stuck it far side on the top shelf.
That's just a great job by Kyle Weimer. The defender, Ben Napton, tried to go over his head. Weimer, you're going to see, almost got it checked out of his stick, and he looks at it to make sure he still has possession. And then his athletic ability and prowess takes over. Jump shot, beautifully placed ball. Gets his 15th marker of the season.
Weimer, the senior, nominated for the Lowe's Senior Class Award. 4 areas of excellence get you that award. Classroom, character, community, and competition. So he scored high in all 4, and he's a national finalist for the Lowe's Senior Class Award. See the numbers on the faceoffs. 21-6 advantage for Tim Fallon, the junior from Lowell, Mass. He had 78 more face-off wins than the entire UMBC team coming into this game. He's one of the best in the nation. Well, UMBC defense needs a stop here. Get them possession. Down 3.
I tell you, the Hartford Dodgers are really making life difficult for the UMBC defense. They're making them slide fast, and they're doing a great job of keeping the ball hot, finding where the slide came from, and then making the second pass inside on the crease. A lot of the goals scored by Hartford in the 3rd quarter were the way UMBC was scoring in the 1st, right on the doorstep.
This is Polizzi back behind the goal.
See if Hartford now with this 3-goal advantage tries to shorten the game with this invert.
Fans calling for a stall warning. Haven't seen that yet. Now we have it. So stall warning against the Hawks. Got to keep it in the box. Polizzi gets it checked free. And the Retrievers up with the ground ball. Good job defensively by UMBC.
Well, Neil Lunis was all over Polizzi, strips him of the ball, then corrals the loose ball to get UMBC an opportunity. And Lunis doing a great job on senior day. He's just a freshman out of St. Mary's in Annapolis.
Freshmen are allowed to have good days on senior day,
no
right?
No question. When you graduate 17 seniors, you hope the cupboard's not bare.
Look out, double team there. They strip it away from Kimball's. Retrievers pick it back up. Good job. Nice ground ball for Latham. He has scored goals, grabbed ground balls. He's had a good day. Look out. Free break here for the Hawks, and they score. They caught him napping. And Genick gets as easy a goal as he's going to score this year.
Tenacious ground ball work by the Hartford Hawks. And Ryan Compatello gets his second assist. And this is just a hustle play from start to finish. The two double teams by Hartford creates two loose balls. The ball then goes to Ryan Compatello, and then Genick streaking toward the goal, beating his defender, corrals the feed, and sticks it past Adam Cohen.
The lead back to 4. And another face-off win for Fallon, who goes in, gets trail check, and the Retrievers up with it. Nice job by Camardo. The trail check forced the turnover. These guys are going to sleep good tonight. Been up and down.
It's been a great lacrosse game. It really has. You look at Hartford's effort today, and you just say, wow, a team playing like this, it's a shame that their season is going to end at the end of this one.
Nice pass inside. The quick shot and score from Kyle Weimer. So Weimer had been relatively quiet. He's got back-to-back goals for the Retrievers. Just penetrated the defense. Max Davis right there.
Well, now Davis with his third assist just breaks down the Hartford defensive effort with a beautiful split dodge from right to left. Draws the slide. And then Weimer, so smart inside. Turn and shoot. Great teamwork by the seniors.
Timeout, 9:36 left to play in this one. Final regular season game for both teams. Hartford up. In a 3-goal lead, 9:20 to play. They led at the half 7-6, haven't given up that lead in the second half after they fell behind early in this game, 4-0. Hey, you're right, Mark. You watch them today and you think, if they're in the tournament, they could give teams trouble, right?
Sure.
In the America East tournament.
Again, preseason number 4 in the conference. A couple of 1-goal losses, Albany and Binghamton.
2 overtime losses.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a different story for the Hartford Hawks. With the automatic qualifier these days, it's all about getting to that conference tournament and just giving yourself a chance to fight. I mean, that's what we're seeing in the Ivy League. Typically, the season would be over for those Ivy League teams, but teams like Dartmouth and Harvard still have a chance to make it into the Ivy League tournament, where in the past, their season would have been over for all intents and purposes about 3 weeks ago in terms of an Ivy League championship.
Off the pipe.
I'm so impressed with Franzi shooting all day today. Jared Franzi, the freshman, doing such a great job for Hartford.
He came in with 75 shots, so he hasn't been bashful as a freshman yet.
He's I guess that's the old mantra, he never met a shot he didn't like. Stall warning again on Hartford.
Yeah, they want to extend the possessions now. They've got a 3-goal lead, time on their side. Ground ball. Here come the Retrievers. Latham couldn't handle it cleanly. Had a great opportunity there, Mark. He was cranked up and ready to let loose.
Yeah, he really was, and was looking to shoot before he corralled that pass. So a tough break for UMBC. If I'm Peter Lawrence, I might be rethinking this stall tactic. We've seen 2 consecutive turnovers by Hartford. This is a team that when they play, they have done great things today against UMBC. You don't want to stop
Get
playing.
out of rhythm, right?
Yeah, you don't want to play not to lose.
Palazzi backs it up.
Prime example, one that really sticks out in my mind, is a couple years ago in the NCAA's Colgate against Notre Dame. Really taking the play to the Irish. They decided to play keep away late in the game. The Irish tied it up and eventually won in overtime.
Getting now down near the 7-minute mark. Got to keep it in the box now. And there's the strip.
That's a terrific strip by Schneider. Had the stick positioning, and instead of holding or long johnning his opponent, he just waited for the opportunity to strip in legal fashion. That's a great takeaway by Brian Schneider.
And now I think, Mark, we're into the portion of the game where conditioning's a factor. These guys have been running hard up and down this field on a very, very warm day.
Well, check that. That was Lance Opoff on the strip down there, so credit to him. But you're right. This is where you really have to dig down deep.
Saw a couple of guys bending over, grabbing their knees. Good pass in front. Penalty marker down. Weimer hits the deck. And now we'll have the penalty assessed.
A good news, bad news situation for Hartford. The good news is Weimer didn't catch that initial feed because he had time and room to shoot. The bad news is when he goes to pick up that loose ball, he turns his back on the defender and he gets shoved to the turf, therefore creating a 30-second man advantage for the Retrievers.
UMBC right around 23%. They haven't been real effective. In 09, they led the nation. They hit 30 of 57 extra mans.
We can see 0 for 1 is UMBC. Relatively clean game. The Hawks have yet to go up on the man advantage.
Perimeter passing here. Hartford packs it in. Look for the cutter. Nobody there. Ooh, look out. That pass high as they try to get it over to Nick Dobb. Back to the weak side it goes. Tough angle, pinch in the post, and the save made by Bement.
It's a crease violation against UMBC. That's not a bad shot, but maybe a little too much of an angle to overcome, and Bennett did a great job of hugging the pipe, keeping his position, and making a nice save.
There's Peter Lawrence, hoping to end his season for the second straight year with a win over UMBC. ESPNU's coverage of college baseball continues today.
Schools level.
Beautiful day.
St. Mary's and Siena, the front runners in the MAC. Stony Brook, clearly the front runner in the America East. The Patriot, it's Army and Navy tomorrow. So basically what you have here is really a dogfight. The MAC tournament next week. Siena, Mount St. Mary's. I think VMI is going to be in the mix there. And UMBC, they're looked at as the primary challenger to Stony Brook for the America East crown, but they are struggling here today against Hartford.
A little over 5 minutes left. UMBC in possession, trailing by 3. The lefty Adam Cohen over the middle to Davis. Tough to play catch-up when you're getting dominated at the X, Dixie.
But again, I think Hartford has let UMBC